What about Jason Lockenfor? You think he believes what he says?
Jason Lockenfor. There's another guy who hasn't believed anything he said in the last 10 years.
Well, listen to what he had to say.
Who fell off harder, Jason Cole or Jason Lockenfor?
I think Jason Lockenfor, is he part of the Odyssey family? Oh, yeah, he hasn't fallen off. He's actually come up.
Oh, yeah. Him and John Heyman, they're two peas in a pod.
Carson Judge.
What podcast was this again, Lubman? I had you pull it. It was on
It was the In the Huddle podcast.
That podcast.
Okay, all right, that podcast. Let's go. Here's what Lockenfor had to say about Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy's played 2 road games. One was at Seattle, which is a team that they know very well, and they had Seattle's number all year. The other was at the Raiders, which was basically a 49ers home game, because that's what happens there. He hasn't, like, this is a whole nother level. Like, I just don't see him. Man, he looked bad under pressure against the Cowboys. He's going to be under even. These dudes have 75 sacks, including the playoffs, the Eagles. Like, man, that's going to be a problem. That rotation up front is so deep. They get pressure inside. They get pressure off the edge. Like, they get pressure with their safeties when they bring it. Like, I just don't think that's good news for Brock Purdy.
All right, that's Jason Lockenfor.
Wow, that's profound.
He's got another soundbite,
I don't know if you know
too.
this, Monte.
Yeah.
Pressure makes quarterbacks crumble.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I've seen it happen to Tom Brady. And by the way, Angela Cataldi, he did join us on the Bud Light Guest Line. All guests appear on the Bud Light Guest Line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Here's what else he had to say about the Eagles' offense, Jason Lockenfor.
And the 49ers defense has one fatal flaw. They can't defend the deep ball.
Yep.
Well, I think A.J. Brown had 7 touchdowns this year of 25 yards or more. Like, I just think that this defense is going to be leveraged by all the different ways the Eagles can beat them. And I think it will expose their flaws. And I'll say this, Bosa and them guys, you better bring in a whole lot more than you brought in against Dallas, man. I mean, Dallas didn't know on Friday who their left tackle was going to be. And I thought it would be an issue, and it was not. Like, the 49ers are going to have to get sustained pressure. I just think this has the potential to get a little sideways.
Oh, potential to be a blowout, according to Jason Lockenfor.
How many blowouts in the Shanahan era since they found Jimmy Garoppolo?
We got the one against Kansas City earlier this season.
Okay.
2020, they got blown out a couple times in the pandemic year. Miami Dolphins.
Jimmy was hurt.
Yeah, Jimmy was hurt. They got blown out a couple times. Hasn't been much. Hasn't been many.
I mean, blowout. Well, okay, whatever. I mean, here's what I will say about the deep ball. Passes that go over 25 yards. The Eagles led football in QBR on those types of plays and on yards per attempt on those types of plays. The 49ers were basically dead last. Bottom 2, bottom 3 on a lot of those metrics. So, yes, you that is where you're going to try to attack, throwing the ball down the field. Here's what I think is the slept-on thing in this matchup that I don't think the data can really even try to begin to quantify. What about them being battle-tested? Are the 49ers not one of the most battle-tested teams? Why don't they get the benefit of the doubt? Think about the core of this team. It's pretty much, outside of McCaffrey, pretty much every other guy on this team has won 4 playoff games in a year, in a calendar year.
Yep.
This team knows what it's like to prepare on short rest. They know what it's like when the chips are up against it. They won 2 huge road games last year with very bad quarterback play.
Right, and almost stole the Rams game. Hell, they were up in the Rams game 17-7.
Why do we do this?
Why do they do it? Why do the East Coast media do it? Why does the national media do it? Like, when you talk about blowouts, I'm just looking at the 2021 season, right? And the Niners started off 3-5. They didn't get blown out against Green Bay. Remember, Green Bay won on the last-second field goal. Didn't get blown out in Seattle at home. You lost 28-21. You didn't get blown out to an undefeated Cardinals team that dropped to 2-3. You lost 17-10 when Trey Lance made his first start. Now, the Colts game in the rain, it got away from them, right? 30-18. You lost to Arizona. That may have been the low moment when, Benjamin Truck, Drake Kirkpatrick. That was a low moment of the season.
So, like, one blowout. I guess my bigger point is, like, blowouts are rare. That's number one. And to think that this team, like, the way they play, they don't get blown out. Now, maybe it happens on Sunday, and I look completely
Didn't get blown
foolish.
out all of 2019.
That's what I'm saying.
They lost. The biggest loss they had was against Atlanta when they scored the touchdown at the last second. Remember the kickoff?
Yes.
Kickoff to cover the spread.
Yes.
Atlanta won 29-22. It was a 23-22 game.
But like, I can't. Blowout? Like, okay, it's one thing to say that the Eagles are going to win. They're going to blow them out. That, to me, that's just lazy.
I mean, the Niners would
Give me
have to
better analysis.
They would have to have their worst game. Nick Bosa would have to not show up. I think he's going to show up He has to show up. And he knows those two performances against Seattle and Dallas,
yes,
it's not up to par. That's not DPOY behavior.
No.
He will be better. Fred Warner Jr. may be coming off the best game of his career. Drake Greenlaw has been flying around the football this postseason. All right? Amenehu. He's going to play after what happened, a minor domestic violence charge. He's going to play according to Kyle Shanahan. He's playing. Can he provide some pressure? Can we get pressure up the middle from Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw? D'Amico Ryans is going to have to be smart with the blitzes. When you bring Hufanga off the edge, you got to be smart. You don't want to get burned by the blitz against his football team. But for the most part, the Niners have always been buttoned up. Even the Chiefs game, that was a close game for the most part. Chiefs did dominate, no doubt. That was a close game.
Well, and it was at a time when Ward was just coming back from a big injury.
Tarvarius Ward was coming back from a big injury.
You had
Nick Bosa had the groin injury.
Yeah, McCaffrey getting acquired midweek. There was a lot of stuff up in the air. And quite frankly, I think the Chiefs are a bad matchup for the Niners.
Oh, well, you win. You may be seeing them.
I'm just saying, they're a bad matchup for a lot of teams. Like, saw when Mahomes was healthy, he went right down the field on Jacksonville. He looked godly.
Right.
I mean, he didn't even he looked incredible. Then he hurt his ankle, and he still looked good at the end of that game. So I don't know. I'm just looking at the Chiefs are a tough matchup for a lot of teams. That's not a demerit to me. I look at their body of work as a whole. They just don't get blown out. Even when they fall down 1 or 2 scores, they keep it close.
Well, with the way Lancafor is hyping this game up, with the way Cataldi's hyping this game up, with the way the East Coast media is hyping this game up. And by the way, ESPN wasted time on Aaron Rodgers. Should Aaron Rodgers return to the Packers next season? Dude, the NFC title game and AFC title game are coming up, and you guys are still stuck on Aaron Rodgers, who didn't even make the playoffs?
Well, that's how he likes it.
Gosh.
And I'm done talking about him.
Would this be the best road win for the 49ers in their postseason history? Our boy Joe Hawks, we love Joe Hawks, tweeted at us here.
Yeah, what's he saying?
Best road playoff wins for Niners all time. 88 NFC Championship game at Soldier Field. 2013 wildcard game at Green Bay. 2021 divisional round game last year against Green Bay, and then the Atlanta Falcons game back in 2012.
Those are the ones that we identified.
Yeah. This would be the biggest road win in their postseason history.
Isn't it a little wild how few marquee road wins that they have in playoff history?
They've got blown out a lot on the road.
Well,
There's a lot of blowouts at Lambeau Field. There's a lot of blowouts at the Meadowlands against the New York Giants.
The Tampa Bay game, Green Bay game.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a lot of losses. No, I was going more like a lot of their big wins have come when they've had home field advantage, right? Like, that shows you how important home field advantage is. That's why this one, to me, this feels like if Shanahan wins this one, and I know everyone's, Shanahan wins this game.
This would be a signature win?
Absolutely. I don't even care what, I know people, of course I want to win the Super Bowl. You win this game, and you win 3 to get into the Super Bowl with Brock?
With Brock Purdy.
Come on,
And you hear the way Eagle fans are talking
man.
about Brock Purdy. Enzo Cataldi, he's got small hands. Doesn't have a strong arm.
I feel like I'm hearing Alex Smith talk all over again.
I mean, it did remind me of Alex Smith, right?
Yeah.
And when Alex Smith got exposed in Philadelphia, his second start, his hands are so small. Remember that? Alex Smith relieved Tim Ratain that second game of the season?
You don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I wasn't a big fan.
Charlie's got an uncle who's like obsessed with hands.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of that show.
It's a funny show.
That's just me.
Spadoni knows what I'm talking about. He's got beautiful hands.
Let's go to Idaho.
Idaho?
Yeah, Idaho. X Anderson, is that his name? X Anderson, or is it Lex Anderson?
Yes, sir.
X Anderson?
Yes, sir. X Anderson, it is.
What's up, baby? What's going on?
What's up, y'all? Hey, I want to show you guys mad love over here in Idaho. Not just myself. There's a lot of people from Frisco that moved up here, too, as well.
Nice.
Want to show mad love. Niners fan over here since '01. Sorry, man. I was born in the 90s days. But anyways, I just want to talk about how I'm working with a bunch of retirees over here that choose not to retire, and they were talking about how well gelled the 49ers are this year and compared to the previous year, and they're trying to say like it's probably second to how Joe Montana, the Jerry Rice, and the Dwight Clark days and whatnot, and they're talking to hear about like, man, they think that they know that the 49ers is really going to do like a punch mouth to the Eagles. So I want to give a shout out to you guys' station. You should stay out there in San Francisco and everything, and I really hope we get this dub and move on forward, because all of a sudden these Eagle fans are just surfing out of nowhere, and I hope we win and we just take this all the way, man. So shout out to you guys' station. Listening to you guys right now on a 12-hour shift at the moment. So, man, it's a blessing.
Where you work at?
Thank you guys so much, man.
Where you working at, Where you working at, Anderson?
I'm working out here, a boiler out here in Idaho. So I start from 7 a.m., get off at 7 p.m., and I listen to you guys like every morning on YouTube.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
So I wanted
that.
to give a shout out, man. I lived out there in San Francisco from like 93 all the way up to like 07. And I moved to the islands in 07. And after that, I was like, oh, man. But, yeah, I used to stay in Potrero Hill, Sunnydale, and also Hunters Point back then.
Nice.
Also in South City.
Nice.
Nice,
Shout out
man.
to you guys, man. I hope we win it all the way. Real talk, man.
Let's go.
No doubt.
Call
No doubt.
more often.
Yeah, 7 to 7, putting in hours.
Yeah, he is.
That's dedication right there. Shout out to Anderson, man. That's love right there, all the way in
Hell
Idaho.
yeah.
Watching this here on the roast. By the way, over 700 people on the YouTube chat right now. Shout out to YouTube, the Xfinity mobile text line, as well as Twitch. We appreciate you guys. Also, download the Odyssey app. You don't want to forget that. You can take that baby everywhere. That's how I've been listening to everybody in Philadelphia, Shasky. What's so funny?
Just the YouTube chat is dropping all of these Always Sunny in Philadelphia comments on hands. Can you put your hands over my hands so they look bigger for the picture? That was
wow.
Charlie's uncle. There's it's an inside joke if you watch the show, and I just can't stop laughing.
I tried to get into it. I tried.
It just might not be your cup of tea.
Very dark.
Yeah, I know. I tried. My buddy Philly Zoo, who, by the way, was tweeting at the Morning Roast the other day, one of my best friends in the world, couldn't text me. He'd rather take it to Twitter. You're lying on me. That's not the conversation we had. Oh, yes, it is. How come you didn't want to bet me? So we have a bet now.
What's the bet?
The loser has to take out. We have to all go to King Prime Rib. We're going to go to House of Prime Rib.
Oh,
So the loser-
HOP.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, so, it's going to be on him. And he's like, we're going to double date, and the loser has to pay for the double date. Okay, fine.
That's a pricey tab.
Yeah, well, for him, and I know he's frugal.
I
He
lost
doesn't
a
like to
bet
spend
here.
money.
I lost a bet here, and this is like I think it was Eat 24 Caviar. This is like pre Uber Eats days. I had to buy Prime Rib, House of Prime Rib for everyone here. Tony, were you working that night? Did I buy you a House of Prime Rib?
I would have remembered. No, I was not here. Unfortunately.
I owed
remembered.
Townie a bet. Oh, it was terrible. It was when the A's beat the Giants.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Who was the kid from Bellarmine with the home run?
For Yays
Yeah.
on a Sunday?
Yeah.
I forget.
And he stuck his hand up. It was on Friday night, and he was going crazy.
I forget.
God.
Well, that was 2018, right?
Yeah.
I think I was in Cuba during that series because Bumgarner pitched on a Saturday, right?
I don't remember that part of it.
All right.
Just remember losing the bet.